Hey guys, so I'm going to do a video talking about two products that I'm loving lately. These are two products that I just wanted to show you guys, that really impressed me as far as performance goes. So the first one I'm going to talk about is something that everyone's already picked up. I know I'm kind of late on this, but it's because I've never been a fan of NARS products. So in case you guys haven't seen this is the NARS Danmari palette. It's $65 at Sephora. I got it for $55 with the friends and family sale. Yay, 20% off. But it's $65. So normal NARS blushes are $27 a pan. This whole palette is $65, so it's a really great deal. So you get 6 different colors. You get Hungry Heart Duo, which is a really nice highlighter. It seems like it's matte, but I promise on it's a very sheer, fine highlighter. I love powder highlighters because I am someone who gets very greasy and oily very quickly, so I try not to wear any, emollient cream highlighters because they make me just look gross. And then they have Casino right here. A lot of people have said that this bronzer is unwearable for people who are lighter skinned. I really don't agree at all. I just use my Sigma contour brush. This is the F40 brush from the Make Me Cool set. And this is a really great time to use brushes like this that aren't as dense. I mentioned in my comparison video that these aren't as dense as the MAC brushes. I find that to be the case with a lot of Sigma contour brushes where they're just not as dense. That's not always a bad thing, especially with something like contouring. You don't want to go super crazy. I think with contouring, if you, go a little bit too crazy, I feel like really aggressive contouring can give you a little bit of a draggish kind of look. And so I really think that this is a great brush for that. Just use a brush that's not as dense so you're not going to pick up as much color. And I promise you that it's wearable. I'm probably going NC25 going back into an NC20 right now, so I'm really, not that tan. So I really think it's wearable. People just using too much. So this color right up here is Orgasm, probably one of NARS's most celebrated colors. Peachy pink with little flecks of gold. And then Super Orgasm is supposed to be the same color as Orgasm but with more glitter, but as you could tell it's clearly not the same color whatsoever. And then the next color you get is Desire. Desire is a hot pink matte blush which looks kind of scary in the pan, but I promise it's actually quite wearable. I picked up a lot, but you could definitely buff that out. These are very pigmented and smooth blushes. And the last one is Sin. And Sin is this really pretty berry color, perfect for winter and fall, like that. So I was really impressed with this palette, especially because I'm not someone who has been a fan of contouring in the past, because it's very hard for me to find a bronzer that doesn't look like dirt on my face. I was really impressed. I've never had the urge to buy any NARS products before. I have NARS Turkish Delight lip gloss because everyone has that. But I never thought that anything, really stood out to me. But then when I saw the price on this palette, I was like, such a deal. I can't pass it up. And I've been liking a little bit more contouring lately, especially because in flash photography, my face does tend to get very non-dimensional, just because obviously I use pretty matte foundation. It does take away the contours of your face. So I have been loving this blush palette for contouring, especially I love that you guys have like a cool tone blush. You have a little bit of a warmer blush, and this blush right here, Super Orgasm, looks great because it looks kind of like you have a highlighter in it. And then Sin is such a great fall color. I don't know, I just think that this whole blush palette is so complete and well thought out, and I do think it's very universally flattering. So great deal, highly recommend it. Next thing I'm going to talk about, my friend recommended to me. So this is this Osis Plus Dusted Mattifying Powder. I never heard about this brand. I think it's a German brand. My friend, she has really long hair as well, and when people have really long hair, natural long hair, it's really hard to get a lot of volume at your crown, because once your hair, gets past here or so, it just tends to get really flat because it's heavy. And I think secretly a lot of girls who have naturally long hair are kind of jealous of girls who wear extensions, because we just can't get that kind of volume without really heavy teasing. A lot of people say, oh, flip your head upside down, and all those things help, but once your hair gets really long, it is kind of hard to, get volume at the crown, which just gives you just, I don't know, like a wet, kind of vampy look. And so my friend recommended this to me. This is what she would always use when we go out. Her hair would just always be so voluminous. Now I'm still kind of figuring out how to use this. Now the cool thing about this product is that what you do is you just sprinkle it in the roots of your hair, and you want to go very lightly. It looks kind of like snowflakes. Can you see it coming out? It looks kind of like snowflakes. Very fine powder, and it's kind of sticky. And then when you put it in the roots of your hair, you just kind of fluff up your hair. And what happens is it just makes it stick like that. Do you see? And then you just let your hair fall over it. And obviously, the more you play with it, the more you perfect it. Unfortunately, though, I am someone who tends to touch their hair a lot, so I kind of mess it up. But then the cool thing about it is that if you do mess it up, let's say you go flat like that again, then you can always lift it back up and redo it. I don't know, I just think this is so cool. A lot of cream and emollient volumizing products that I've used for hair, they just kind of make my hair go flatter because, you know, my hair just can't hold it up. It's just way too heavy. And so the cool thing about this powder is that it's really, really lightweight. So like I said, you don't want to use too much because it's going to be impossible to get out of your hair and it's going to make it really gross. And I'm not crazy about how the product feels and how it makes my hair feel. It makes your hair feel super dirty and kind of rough and crunchy, but it works, you know, and I like it a lot more than I like teasing. I've never been a fan of teasing. I feel like teasing just looks really unnatural, and for someone who has a big head like how I do, I have a big head, you know, proportionally to my body. I don't want to look any more like a bobblehead than I already do, and so I think this is a really great product. Highly recommend it. I got it from Amazon. It doesn't smell like anything. I think I paid $13 or $14 for it. I'll leave the name of this product down in the description box, but I think it's a great value too, because I really don't use a whole lot, and you don't want to use a lot because then you're going to have to start over. Also great because when you're out and about, you know, if you need to fix it, then you just lift up your hair and then you just scrunch it back up. It's so cool. I don't know, I think that's beyond cool. So yeah, that's it. Those are my 2 products that I'm loving lately. I hope you guys get a chance to try them and you guys like them too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.